All right. Tuesday night. Welcome, everybody. Happy Tuesday, the biggest night of the week, right? You never know what's going to happen. Don't miss a Tuesday night because it's always going to be something important that you need. Welcome, everyone, to the Triple R 247 MDTC conference call, announcement call, everything call. Why do I call it the everything call? Because everything important is announced and it happens on Tuesday nights. Everything. If there's an announcement that's going to help you build faster, build better, build stronger, if it's going to help you make more money, if it's another tool, another product, another service, anytime oriented, you're going to add something to the system to help you grow and help you earn. It will always happen on a Tuesday night. So if you're brand new, write this down. Never miss a Tuesday night call. And if you listen to the Keystone video again and again and again and again, half as many times as I do, every single day of the week, then you'll know exactly why you don't want to miss a call and then get in 3 calls later and everybody talking about something that got launched 30 days ago and how much fun and how much money we're all making. Don't be that person. Don't be that story. We care for you. We want you to be successful. So please don't be that story. Never miss a Tuesday night call. What else happens on Tuesday nights, Linda, Dina? We get to meet all the new people, all the new team members, all the new family members every Tuesday night, somewhere between 10 and 30 brand new people. And those are just the ones that can make the call. There's other people working third shift that can't even be here every Tuesday night. 10 to 30 brand new people joining the team. We love seeing it. And we like seeing all the different states being represented all the time. And of course, we got a nice little friendly competition going on with Ohio and Florida and Texas, seeing who's going to represent and who's standing out every night. So it's fun, and we like to be the first ones to welcome you to the family, welcome you to the team. So here's your chance. I'm going to give everybody that first call. If you're brand new and it's your first Tuesday night, click on the little microphone in the lower left-hand corner, or hit the space bar on your keyboard. Say hello, and don't forget to say what state you're calling in from, and welcome to the call. Go ahead, Christy. I see you leaning in. Unmute. Christine.
Did you start?
No, I hear.
There you go. I can hear you.
Christine Vitas from Georgia.
Georgia's in the house. Thank you, Christine. Glad you made it. Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, now the chat's been disabled.
We'll open it up for a minute. How's that? Bria, Linda, Dina, somebody want to get that for me? Thank you,
I
Robert.
got you.
All right, fantastic. Anybody else brand new want to unmute, say hello? Represent your state? Hey, Emily, where are you calling in from?
Illinois.
Illinois is in the house. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome. Glad you made it.
Thank you.
Greetings to Esther from Coral Springs, Florida. Florida's in the house. Fantastic. Welcome, Esther. Glad you made it.
Hello, nice to meet you too.
Fantastic. I love seeing Floridians in here. Let's go. All right. Anybody else brand new want to say hello? All right. So for all the brand new people that came in since we got started, welcome to the 4 who got a chance to say hello, whether it was chat or on the camera here. But welcome everybody to the Triple R 247 and DTC conference call, announcement call, the everything call, the addition call, the let's help you build and make more money call. Because everything important to your success, everything you need to know and understand and implement and put in action as fast as you can and help you build your business, help you make more money, help you hit your goals. Anytime oriented, you're going to add something new to the system. It'll always happen on a Tuesday night. Write that down, spread the word, make sure you tell everybody. You'll never know what's going to happen on any given Tuesday night. We could have a guest speaker that's the manufacturer of a product or service that we're marketing come on the call and tell us all about their product, their service, why they built it, how they put it together, why it's doing so good. Help us market it even better. Help us write a better review so we can get it out there. Help us think of different keywords that we can use to get the SEO traffic that we need. There's so many great things that happen on Tuesday night. Maybe Rory or Tanya is just going to get on here and share some business knowledge, some better understanding of the system that you have in your hands, how to use this and how to use that, and how to work, how to organize your day, how to get more organized in all the parts of our business. All of that kind of stuff is always going to happen on a Tuesday night, and it's going to be something different every Tuesday night. And now we're going to be introducing more and more and more of our leadership to you, so you can see all the people that are a part of this. You know, some of the pioneers that were here 18 years ago when Rory and Tanya were first thinking about this, put it together. Some of the people who, you know, flew up the ranks really quick and quit their job after 20, 25, 30 years because they found a way to replace that income. There's so many great stories that are going to be shared on Tuesday nights also, and you never want to miss those. You want to get to know every one of them stories. Dina shared her story the first week. Linda shared her story last week or 2 weeks ago. Stacy shared her story last week. And every time you're talking to somebody about what this business can do for their life, a new career path, you can say, my friend Dina, my friend Linda, my friend Stacy, my friend Niall, my friend Rory, my friend Tanya, and share their story. It's going to relate with other people. So the more stories you know, the more people you're going to be able to relate with on top of your own story. That's going to relate with a lot of people that you're going to be meeting. So never miss a Tuesday night call for all of those reasons. And that's why I call it the conference call, the announcement call, the edition call, the everything call, because it's everything that you need to be successful. But as I said a couple of minutes ago, before there was a big batch of people right here just logged in, we got another big batch. I'll wait a second because I know Brielle's working on something very important right now, and Linda and Dina and probably Roy and Tanya. And as soon as they let that big batch of people in, we're going to give everybody else a chance to say hello as well. But listen, I'll go ahead and do it. If you're brand new, you didn't get a chance to say hello 5 minutes ago, go ahead and do so now. Click on the little microphone in the lower left-hand corner or hit the space bar on your keyboard. Say hello. Don't forget to say what state you're calling in from. And welcome to the family. Welcome to the call.
Hi, this is Anthony from Connecticut.
Anthony from Connecticut. Welcome, sir. Glad you made it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Tracy
Hi, my
from
name is
Georgia.
Arlena. I'm calling from California.
All right. One from California. Tracy, you said Florida, right?
Georgia.
Georgia.
Georgia. Connie, what did you say?
First favorite things.
Fantastic. We'll get it right. Welcome to all of you. Welcome. Glad you made it.
Hello, this is Brett. I'm from Louisiana.
Brett from Louisiana is in the house. Thank you, Brett. Welcome. Glad you made it.
I'm Carol from Savannah, Georgia.
Carol from Georgia. Virginia passport from where?
Florida.
Florida. There we go. More Florida. Love to see it. Can you tell I'm from Florida? Yeah, I'm a little biased. Okay, but I love everybody and I love every state in this country. And I've seen, I think, almost all of them. I'm pretty sure I've been in every state. Have I been, except
Hello from Christy in Indiana. Christy and Buffy.
Christy from Indiana's in the house. Thank you, Christy. Welcome. Glad you made it.
Hey, now I'm going to call out my new student, Corey. He's from Pennsylvania, and you had one in the chat, Cynthia from Florida.
Welcome, Corey from Pennsylvania, and welcome, Cynthia from Florida. Fantastic. Thanks, Rob.
And I'm Tracy from Georgia.
Tracy from Georgia. Thank you, ma'am. We're glad you made it. Welcome. Anybody else?
Richard from Dallas.
Richard from Dallas. Look at that. One of my favorite cities. And guess what, Richard? We might all be visiting there real soon. So hopefully we get a chance to meet you face to face. Anybody else?
from Michigan.
Texas.
Hezzy from Michigan, and it was iPhone from Texas. It says iPhone. Didn't catch your name, sir. There you go.
From Mike McCoy from Texas.
Mike from Texas. Here, I'm going to change your name so everybody knows. I'm just going to put Mike.
Okay. No problem.
Which reminds me, if anybody
I
needs to...
don't-
Go ahead, Arlena.
I don't know if you guys heard my name. It's Arlena,
Where are you calling in from, Arlena?
California.
California's in the house. There you go. Thank you, man. Welcome. Glad you made it. And for everybody that has an iPhone or iPad or something other than at least your first name, there's 3 little dots that you can click on and you'll see rename. You can change your name, put whatever you want. You can put Giuseppe Porzio. You can put Mario and say, here we go. Whatever you want to put there, just put there if you want to get the iPhone or iPad or a Galaxy and all the other stuff off your phone. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'll do this one more time because we just had a big batch of people come in. Welcome to the Triple R 247 and DTC conference call, our announcement call, our everything call. Every time we're going to add something new to the system, always Tuesday night. Every time we're going to have a guest speaker trained on one of our products or services, always Tuesday night. Anytime Rory and Tanya are going to get on here, drop a whole bunch of golden nuggets to help you build your business, always Tuesday night. Everything you need, all the important announcements happen on Tuesday night, never any other night of the week. Announce it on Tuesday, launch it on Tuesday, train on Saturday. Tuesday night's the big one, Saturday's number 2, right? But Tuesday night's the big one. Do yourself a favor, don't be that story. Never, ever miss a Tuesday night. And we also get to meet all the leadership here. Also going to get to hear all the stories here, why people got involved, why they fell in love with this, why they walked away from their JOB, why they are still here after 18 years or 10 years or 12 years. You're going to hear a lot of great stories, and you never want to miss those because those are the stories that are going to help you build your business. But we also get to meet all the brand new team members. And like I said, every week, somewhere between 10 and 30 team members joining the team. There's more than that. Those 10 or 30 are the ones that were able to get on Zoom. Some of them are working right now and they can't get on the call. Go ahead, Linda.
Richard Anastasi from Dallas, Texas is my new student, and he's here.
Fantastic. We just said hello to Richard and told him we're going to meet him soon. Fantastic. Richard, glad you're here. And we are going to meet you soon. All you got to do is show up when we get in town, right? All right. Anybody else? If you're brand new, we love hearing from you. Click on the little microphone, and this has got to be last call. Click on the little microphone or hit the space bar on your keyboard. Say hello, and don't forget to say what state you're calling in from, and welcome to the call. Mary Sullivan from New York. Welcome, Mary. Glad you made it. I see you in chat. Oh, there's 27 chats. I can't keep up with that.
Huh.
Welcome, Mary. Glad you made it, ma'am.
Hi, Niall. This is I have Lee Taylor on the call. She's a new PBS student.
Fantastic. Thank you, Suzanne, and welcome, Leanne. Welcome to the call. Glad you
That
made
was
it.
Renee. That was Renee.
Renee. Oh, why is that one lightened up when you're talking? Sorry. Welcome, Renee.
Thank you.
And Leanne is the new person, right?
Yes, Leanne Taylor.
Fantastic. Welcome, Leanne. Glad you made it. Welcome to the team. Anybody
And
else?
welcome to Brenda Mansour, my student from Columbus, Ohio.
Fantastic, Brenda. Glad you're here. Welcome. Glad you made it. All right. Let's go ahead and hit some of these big buttons so we can get going. Did we find? Yes, we did. Fantastic. Everybody is co-hosted. Let's hit that button, and I'm going to hit this button. And then we're going to shut the chat down so it doesn't jump up and distract our guest speakers, because it will jump up in front of their face. Get that. Go here. Oops. All right, fantastic. And welcome, Tracy. Kathy Taylor said, welcome, Tracy. And Christina Barbeau said, welcome, Tracy Davis. So 2 Tracys joining. Fantastic. I'm going to put 2 more hash marks. Guess what? That's 22 people. 22 people had a chance to say hello. Thank you for making my story true again. 10 to 30 new people every single week, and that was right down the middle, wasn't it? Pretty close. All right, fantastic. Welcome again to the Triple R 247 and DTC conference call. For all of you new people, and you're going to know why I got so excited whenever I hear Floridians log onto the call. My name's Niall Eddy. I've been in this industry for almost 35 years now. I've known Rory and Tanya, our co-founders of this program, for 30 of those 35 years. Work side by side, and when you work side by side with somebody for that many years, 3 decades now, you become very close. I call them my brother and my sister, even though they are our business partners, even though they are our mentors. When you get to work with somebody that long, you can call them brother and sister because we're like a family. And you're going to find a whole bunch of family members here. But we've traveled the world together, enjoyed a lot of beaches together, wet a lot of lines and a lot of different bodies of water together. Just had a great time. And we've built an incredible business and raised our kids from this industry. But all of it happened over the last 18 years because of the system Rory and Tanya put together. And I'm telling you, this is something, I come from a construction background. I hurt my back kind of young. And I said, I'm not going to be that crippled old guy sitting on the front porch in a rocket chair by the time I'm 40. I got a lot more life in me than that somebody sitting on the front porch. And that's something the doctor warned me about. So I changed careers. With a wife and 3 kids, I changed careers. I went back to school to follow another passion of mine, to be an aviation mechanic. I wanted to be an aviation mechanic and get an associate's degree in avionics because I wanted my own aircraft, and I wanted to be the one that turned the wrench on it before I went 6,000 feet in the air. Does that make sense, Don? Susan, right? I want to be the one that worked on it before I went up in the air to make sure it didn't come back down abruptly. But life has a funny twist and turns every now and then. While I was in school, I was introduced to this industry. And for the very first time, I seen it very differently, right? I've seen a lot of them before, but I didn't see it like it was career level income. It was something that my wife did part-time on the weekends, house party kind of thing. I never got involved. It never piqued my interest, right? I was the construction guy, the mechanic, and the one that I thought was going to be the career guy, the income earner in the house. And that was like extra money. But when I seen this, something was different. Something just got my attention and lit up. And I decided that we were going to do it. And I had a goal, just make an extra $1,000 a month to spoil my kids more on the weekend, because everything I did was about my kids. I went to every football practice, volleyball practice, cheerleading camp, and anything that I could do to spend more time with my kids. I even became the bowling coach of the high school because I got to spend more time with my kids. But I do love the bowl too. That trophy you see behind me, that was their first year in the league where they took first place. It was a great event. I love seeing a kid smile when you teach them how to keep that ball out of the gutter or just keep it on the lane. Doesn't matter how many pins they turn down, knock down, sorry. That smile on their face when they turn around is priceless, and I enjoyed every bit of that. So I got to spend more time with my kids because of this industry, because I dove in while I was in school, and I had a goal to hit $1,000 a month, but I hit that the first month, and I thought, gee, if I could do that, I could double that and make $2,000 a month. Now, when I hit that, I said the same thing. If I could do that, I could double it. How did I do that? I dove in and became a student of the industry, and then I became a student of the system that we were working at the time. And the system is the most important part. There's a lot of great products and services that we could take to the world, but the system and the marketing efforts, which is the biggest reason why most people give up and walk away, give up on themselves and quit, is the marketing efforts. All of those things, the friction points for every human being that's trying to get their own business started, was taken away by the system that Rory and Tanya had put together. So it opened up doors for me I didn't know existed. I met people I never would have met as an aviation mechanic or a construction worker. I started building just in this country. I got online in 93 or 94 with Rory, and I started building globally. And a couple of years into that, I looked back and I said to Rory one day, you realize I'm getting checks out of 18 countries now? The guy who didn't even want to get a computer, the guy who didn't want to get online, didn't want to get involved with technology because I hate it, because I didn't understand it. I got a computer because Rory was good enough to drag me along, kicking and screaming until I went and bought one. I got online and we started building all over the globe. And, it's just been a fantastic ride. I raised my kids on this industry by itself. I gave them everything their hearts could desire. I went on vacation 2 or 3 or 4 times a year instead of once a year. I didn't care how many times I swiped the credit card. I had time freedom. I had financial freedom. And I had that because of this industry and the system that you guys are looking into today. A system, whether it's part 500, come you away from your we have for you all the services, all the paid for marketing, by the way. It's an expense that you'll never have to endure. Everything you need to be successful, the only variable is each person working the system. You want to get there fast or you want to get there slow? Are you working 1 or 2 hours a day or are you working 4 to 8 hours a day? You put forth the effort to a system that we prove every day works, and you'll be able to achieve whatever you came here to achieve. Rory and Tanya, I said 18 years ago, they put together something. They had a dream, they had a vision, they believed in it. They took it out to a bunch of us, myself, Linda, and so many other leaders, Dina, Andy, Donna, Kathleen, all these other great people that you're going to meet. And we bought into that system because it sounded so wonderful. It sounded like a beautiful thing to be a part of, but we can go out and have a positive impact on other people's lives while building ourselves an incredible business. That core group of people start spreading the word, and we've grown into a marketing army. There's so many of us now that we've become a force to be reckoned with when it comes to SEO traffic and online marketing. We are probably, if not number one, in the top two. I'm going to let Rory share that story with everybody on a training call someday. Marketing companies on the globe right now, because we're so spread out. We're in 75 countries now. We're going to be in 200 countries, by the end of the year. And we're going to keep adding more and more stuff for you to market. When you get involved and you make that decision that you're going to be a student of this industry and the best student you can be of the system that we have in place, and just get plugged in, follow the training, follow the steps, follow the system, put forth the effort, never give up on yourself, you're going to see how big this is, how beautiful it is, how many other people you're going to be able to help along the way. And you're going to start moving up through the company to different ranks of being an instructor. An instructor doesn't mean the responsibility that most of you think that word comes with. An instructor means there's other people out there looking, dying to hear from you that want to do what we do. And all you got to do is give them a phone call and say, I'm ready to help you work on your site and do all the things you need to be successful here. That's it. Teach what you know. We'll teach you, you teach somebody else, and we keep paying it forward until we have touched as many countries as we can. As you start moving up through those ranks, you're going to become an instructor in training. Then you'll become an instructor. Then you'll become a CSI, certified system instructor. As soon as you have 10 students, that's all it takes. 10 students, and you're a certified system instructor, because you've shown us you know how to do this and you know how to work the system and bring people in and teach them. And then you start building your teams. You become a GSI. Then you become a PSI. Then you become an MSI, which is the top, second to the top level right now, because they just created a new one. An MSI is a master system instructor. Means you have well over 100 students. Means you're building teams all over the place. You're teaching other people how to be successful. You got leadership starting to develop underneath you. But guess what? The MSIs are also a group of people who do a lot of other things behind the scenes. When Rory and Tanya says, I need a hand helping run this, or helping organize this, or help put this together, there's always one or two or three MSIs that raise their hand. Let us help you put together the system and make it easier to take out to other people. Thank you for your brilliance. Thank you for your work ethics. Thank you for what you created. Now let us take it forward. Let us run it for you. Let us help manage it. Let us help more people with it. And those MSIs behind the scene, like Dina and Linda and Stacy that you've met so far, are just a group of people who bought into the story, bought into the vision, bought into the dream that Rory and Tanya have, and have a deep passion somewhere inside here to help other people. So they're building teams just like all of us are, but they're also doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And every now and then I talk to somebody that says, well, I just don't know if I have the kind of time that I need to build this. Listen, there's no race to the end. There's no time frame. There's no test. There's nothing that you have to meet. You're going to build at your pace, whether it's 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, or 8 hours a day. Have you ever heard that phrase, all excuses are equal? There's another one out there, but I like all excuses are equal. This person I'm about to introduce to you is probably, well, they're one of the heroes in our country. They're one of the people who just do incredible things for all of us in this country, but it's also somebody that doesn't allow excuses to stop them from their dreams. I don't think I've ever met anybody that puts forth the effort that they put forth in their original business and still build this with whatever time they have left. Because it's not how many hours a day you have, it's what you do in the hours that you have that's important. So it's my pleasure to introduce to somebody that's going to share a story with you guys. Get out your notepads, write this down. Like I say every week, get to know these stories so that you can share later. She's one of our MSIs. She's a very sweet person, caring, loving person, but also a hard working person. And as busy as she is, she still raises her hand and volunteers to do more. Melissa Gable, my friend. I thought she was my cousin at one time when I first seen the spelling of her name, but it's not Goble, it's Gable. Melissa, we can't wait to hear what you're going to share tonight. The microphone is yours. Take it away. And I know everybody's ready to take notes on your great story. Where are you at?
Awesome. I'm right here. I'm
There
right
you
here. And just a fun fact, I'm pretty sure we changed it to Gable. It probably was Goble.
It is Goble, so we are cousins. Your husband's a cousin.
That's the natural pronunciation of it, but we say Gable. I'm not sure who changed it, why, but I just married into it, so
That's
I don't
it.
know.
I'm gonna have to come out there and meet him then.
But yeah, you guys, I'm a farm ranch girl from South Dakota. I live out in the middle of nowhere. So when I first started this I talked to Rory. Well, first of all, this was kind of my last ditch effort. I like I said, I live very far out in the country. I drive 64 miles to go get groceries and go to the doctor. So I live way out in the boonies. My kids have like a 30-minute ride to get to school in the morning. We live 24 miles from a very tiny town, but there's really nothing there but a school, a bank, a bar, you know how that goes. But I remember when I started this, I looked for about 10 years before I started this business. Different things that people would say, oh yeah, sign up for this, we'll help you, we'll love you, whatever. And you sign up and you're just left on the curb for dead. And you don't get anywhere. So I looked for a long time and I knew I needed something to do that was flexible because, like I said, I'm a farm ranch. So we farm and we ranch. We have cattle and fields, crops, all the good stuff. So it's kind of a year-round 24/7 type of business that you don't really get much of a break from. So I knew I needed something that was flexible, to fit into the cracks of my life. And I mean, there's a lot of times I'm answering WhatsApp messages from the middle of a field while I'm delivering lunch to my husband and father-in-law and, getting back home to do my marketing. So it's a blessing though. I mean, I love this life. I love country life, but yeah, it's very, very busy. If it rains, you take the day off, whether it's a Wednesday or a Sunday or whatever, that's your time to get a break for the first time in 2 or 3 weeks, so that's when we take off and go somewhere. But I am married to my best friend. We've been married 23 years almost. Back on the farm for 22 years. We were living in town at the time. I was a massage therapist, chiropractic assistant, and x-ray tech all at the same time in the same building before we moved here. And my husband and I both come from farm backgrounds. I was raised on a dairy farm where I was the sole cow milker while everybody else was in the field. I was milking 110 cows by myself and making it work, helping raise my little brother and sister. I was the cook, I was the caretaker as a kid growing up. And so I knew one thing: I was never going to marry a dairy farmer. That was a no-go. But after I moved to town and lived in town for a while, I really, really missed country life. My husband and I, we knew each other since I was in the 6th grade. We grew up about 45 miles, 50 miles apart. So we've known each other for a long time, and he was living in town too. And we're just like, we got to get back out in the country. And lo and behold, his dad called us up and asked us if we wanted to take over the family farm. And it was a no-brainer for us. I loved my job at the time, but it was a no-brainer. We picked up and moved back to the farm. So I was looking for a long time to do something from home just to help. Even an extra $500 a month was huge for us because, I mean, farming, as much as I love it and I love the lifestyle, it's not always a lucrative lifestyle, especially when you're a small farm these days. And we are a small mom and pop shop. We don't have a bunch of hired men. My father-in-law comes out, he's 84 years old. So God bless him. He's a trooper. But he loves it. When farming's in your blood, you can't get rid of it. So it's hard to keep him away, whether we want him to be here or not. He's slowing down, but he loves it too. So like I said, this was a last ditch effort. I had tried so many things and just didn't succeed in them because if you don't have the right tools, if you don't have the right mentoring, if you don't have the right marketing knowledge, you don't get anywhere, right? You can have the greatest product on the planet. Rory says it all the time, but if you don't know how to market it, you don't get anywhere. So I tried lots of different things, but didn't get anywhere because I didn't have that knowledge that Rory and Tanya and this whole team provides. So I literally said a prayer. I looked up, I said a prayer. I'm like, God, if there is something I can do from home that's going to make sense and make money, then you need to show it to me now, because I'm never going to look again. And lo and behold, this is at the very beginning. So I purchased my PBS without talking to anybody. I got started in the training. I built my PBS from scratch. There was no menu. There were no pages loaded in there like it is now. And there were 2 videos to show us how to do everything we knew how to do. So I started, and it was a long time before I actually realized that there were mentors, instructors here. And so I called, and I got hooked up with Edison, Rory and Tanya's son, first in the very beginning. Edison was my original instructor, and didn't take long. And one day my phone rang, and I heard this voice and this laugh that I was hearing on the videos, the 2 videos I was watching. And I'm like, are you serious? You're a real person? Like, is this Rory? He's like, do you know who this is? And I'm like, is this Rory? And he did his Rory laugh, and he's like, yep, it is. And so it was just funny. But you know, I came here with a purpose in mind. You know, my kids are my why, my family, my husband. My biggest why is to be able to sell our cows, you guys, so we can actually move around a little bit and have some freedom. So that's my why, is to help, you know, my husband and make that extra income for him and myself. And so the community and the support is what kept me here, though. Like, we have support in community like no other place you'll ever find on this planet. It's ongoing training and support, and everybody just loves everybody here. And I love that so much. Some of my closest friends now are in this community. So it's really, really cool. So that's a little bit about me. I don't have a lot of stories to tell, but that's me and where I come from. And I'm just a very simple farm girl. So I always tell everybody, if I can do this, anybody can, because I am by nature a wallflower. Like, I'm very, very, very shy. So not only has this business taught me so much about technology, which I knew nothing about in the beginning, but it's also helped me to come out of my shell and grow in ways I never thought were possible. So anyway, moving on, I'm going to introduce one of the greatest ladies you'll ever meet. If you've never heard from her before, she is one of the most honest, loyal, caring, and loving people, real people on the planet. She will tell you like it is, and she will love you like no other. And she is our Mrs. Tanya Rickard, and the wife of Rory, the creator of the program. So over to you, Tanya.
Thank you so much, Melissa. You guys, isn't she amazing? She is the reason why we did this, right? She is the reason. She's a mom. And I think first and foremost, that is her role. That's her title, is mother. That's what she cherishes. And it gets me emotional because that was for me too. So it's just, that's what we're doing this for, is for the Melissas out there. So thank you for sharing your amazing story, Melissa. And you guys, this woman is super, super busy. I mean, she is hopping. She has called me from the field before. I'm like, what's that noise? Call me later. I think that's where you were the one time, or you were in the car on the way back or something, but it was right out there. But it's just amazing, the integrity that she has to work the system. And she's actually the perfect person to introduce this tonight, because what I'm going to speak on a little bit today, but I wanted to also just, because for those of you guys who are new, I just want to welcome you to this amazing opportunity. I feel that way. I know I might be a little bit biased, but I really believe that there's nothing like this out there. I actually don't just believe it, I know it. And nowhere else are you going to get, like Melissa said, we have this huge community for love and support to really help you along the way. It's just not done anymore, especially now in this time that we're in, this weird time that we're in right now, and especially in the US, because I know there's some of our cousins, our Canadian cousins on here. So I think it's pretty weird for y'all too, but it's just a little weird right now, and it's just different. And I don't know, I just think a lot of people are looking for something more. And it's not, I mean, this has like been ongoing, right? Melissa's been here for several years. I mean, she says she was at the beginning, she literally was at the beginning when our son was doing this full time and selling PBSs and helping to get people hooked up. And yeah, and full circle, he's coming back, Melissa, to full time here. So that's always amazing.
It was 8 years ago, almost 8 years ago. I didn't mention that. I've been here almost 8 years now. Yes, that's so awesome. Edison's so sweet.
Yeah, he's extra special. We love him. But it's just so amazing that this is what we have. It's come full circle. But we're back to where, you guys, there's a huge need in this country. And again, with our Canadian cousins, this is a huge need here now for people to be able to make money for themselves. There's just, with all the inflation and everything that's going on, this is more important now than ever. It's so important that, and guys, the great thing about this is that nobody can tell you no. You get to tell yourself no. You get to set your own boundaries and your own work and decide what you want to do. And you guys, I've decided that I've started several series of different topics as I've been going on for the last several weeks. So if you're new, you missed it, and I apologize, but I will be repeating myself every, I think I have like, how many topics now? I think I have like 12, and I'll be repeating as needed. But you guys, the most important question that you're asking yourself now, for those of you guys who are new, is what do you want to achieve here? You know, what do you want to achieve here? And you guys, I say this, and I'm going to reiterate it again because I feel like it's so important, is that takes you down this path of why questions. And you guys, the biggest thing here is that you figure out what you really want. Most people say one thing and they really don't understand that's really what it is. And when you go down that why, the why tunnel, I call it, you know, like a toddler, why, mommy? You can't do that. Why until you're like, because I said so. It's the same reason that we're here. It's because we're trying to find our why. What are we looking for? You know, and it starts with a need that we have, which is immediate, to feed ourselves, to clothe ourselves, to shelter ourselves. And then it moves on from there. And as that is covered, Rory calls that your nut. As your nut is covered, then you're able to expand from there. And my husband's actually on the call tonight, so I might have to bring him in, you guys, because things we're talking about, he is the master of this. So when you talk about what you want to achieve here, the next thing I'm going to say to you guys is, why is that important to you? Again, there's a go down to achieve. Sure, that's going to help about consistency. We have, us as humans have the hardest time being consistent and showing up for ourselves. It often mind boggles me, the fact that we will show up and work our butts off for somebody else, but when it comes to ourselves, we won't. And we are so jaded to feel like it's not going to work for us, or this isn't real, that we say no to opportunity that knocks, and then it knocks again. We just say no. We're too afraid to open the door. We're too afraid to see what can happen. And I really think it boils down to change and the fear of the unknown. And then you guys, as you're asking yourself that question, that's a whole other why tunnel. And that's what I call it. I used to call it with my children. Why are you afraid? Most people are afraid of a failure. But if you don't start, isn't that a form of failure? If you're not consistent, isn't that a form of failure? To me, it is. So what are you afraid of? Someone telling you no? Okay, move along. You're going to find somebody who needs help, who's looking for it, who wants to be here, who wants to move forward, who wants to work. You just keep looking, because that's what we're here. At the end of the day, we are here to provide that opportunity to all of you guys and anyone else who wants to come in. All we can do is provide that opportunity to you, and you guys are the ones that get to decide what you do with it. You guys are the ones that get to decide if this is a part-time thing for you, if this is a full-time thing for you, if what is this that you want? What are you looking for? Because I'll tell you, you're going to find it here. You want a community? Done. You've got that. You want something you can do from home? Check. You've got that. You want a job that you can retire from your job, your other job, and make this your full-time job? Done. We got that too. It truthfully is, are you willing to follow a system, and are you willing to work like you're not used to? That's it. Change is going to rub you rub you a little bit, and it's going to scuff you up, and it's going to make you hurt a little bit. But at the end of that change and into that path, who will you become? What change will happen within you? Before I get into the talking about a little bit of consistency, I just want to say I've been in this industry, the networking industry, for over 30 years. Finance was my main income for over 30 years. I'm getting up there now. But this was my other passion, and it's what helped me to provide for my family as a single mother at first, until I met my amazing husband. And then I was a mother of 7 combined, and raising 7 babies, very close in age. The oldest was 8, the youngest was 1. There were 7 of them in there. And I thought, dear Lord, how am I going to achieve this? And I just had to show up. And I was bound and determined that I was going to blend this family come hell or high water, because God gave them to me, and I wasn't going to let him down. So you guys, many nights, many I was on my knees by that bed. I tell the story that I wore out that bedside, asking what was the right direction for me, and what did I need to do to love on all 7 of these children and let them know they were important and the direction for them. And it's, as many people know, it's each person is their own, each child is their own person, and to have that insight and correct them with love and guidance to shift them. It came down to me being consistent, to me showing up for them even when I didn't feel like it, for me saying, you know what, it didn't matter if I had a bad day, they still need love. And I promised that I would do it. I promised I would show up. I had a say in 3 of those children being here on this earth, and then I had a say with 4 more as I married my husband, that I would commit to them. And so I was bound and determined that they were going to get the love that they needed. So consistency is something that's very passionate to me, because you are the only one that has that decision. You're the only one that can make the choices, the only one that can correct your path. And so I'm going to talk about 3 different principles of consistency that have helped me through my life for the last 30 years of showing up for myself, showing up for my family, showing up for my work, my business, because I have owned many of my own businesses throughout the years, and I own many now. And so it just, the only way to do that is really consistency and developing habits that will allow you for success. And as you guys start this, it's good. Habits, the amazing thing about consistency is that it's good. The change it takes and the will it takes, it's about changing your habits and your perspective. And it's about changing you. That's the amazing thing, is when you start to want change in your own life and you reflect it out into work and what you're doing, change comes to you. You find connections with people in this work area that will help you and make you a better person, because you're looking for it. So the 3 principles here, you guys, the very first one, and this is what I love why Melissa introduced this, is it's to have a clear, crystal clear vision on your why, right? What do you want here? Why do you want that? What is the path that you want? What are you looking for? And the reason that this is important, you guys, is because you will quit on yourself, but your why, if it is of importance to you, it will help motivate you to keep going when the going gets tough. It will help you to want to achieve and succeed. It will help push you forward. What I call it helps push you out of that comfort zone and make you into a better person. And it helps you to tap into something deeper, something other than yourself. It helps you to connect. And then it helps you find the value in your life and to shift. And a lot of people, when I've done a lot of different personal growth and trainings and things in different areas. And a lot of people have said to me they have a lot of depression, and depression is very serious right now, and anxiety and depression. And in every single one of those mentorships that I have been blessed to be a part of, it was because they didn't understand their why. They didn't understand. They didn't know what they were here for. They didn't know their direction or their purpose or their path. And you guys, sometimes we don't know that. but we know we want something different. We want to change, and that's what we're here for in this trip in Triple R. That's what we're here for, to move forward. So here's some our questions to help you develop your why, to find your why. I talk a little bit about going down that why rabbit hole, that why tunnel, but here are just some questions to help you guys out, right? What are you truly passionate about? For me, that was my family, right? You guys, I was, like I said, I was blending a family and everybody said I couldn't do it. I was like, oh no, I'm going to be doing this. And I made sure, and you guys, we don't even, because my children are so close, they don't even use the word step. They call each other brother and sister. They love on each other. I mean, my daughter's here. She can testify to that. It's just, they love each other. And I worked so hard to make sure that no one was above the other. We worked as a unit. We were a family. So what are you truly passionate about was the first question. The next one is what drives you? What pushes you? Hopefully that's the same thing, but it can be something different. You can be motivated by a different thing. What fills you with a sense of purpose? And then the other question I had here is what kind of impact do you want to make here? So those 4 questions, I'll repeat them very quickly, but those 4 questions will help you on your path to finding your why. What are you truly passionate about? What drives you? What fills you with a sense of purpose? And what kind of impact do you want to make here? So those will help you just on that path. Again, you guys, you can do it by the same thing as what do I want to achieve here? Why? You can go all down that rabbit hole. But sometimes it helps to have a few other little questions to kind of, ask yourself. So once you ask yourself that and you get clear on your why, now that is your guiding light, right? I print that baby out or print a picture out and you put that up by your computer. That's your why. And you guys, instead of saying no and not being consistent, you look at that picture, and if you're saying no, you're saying no to that, whatever it is. And show up for them or for it or for whatever it is that you want. And it should be something that you care so much about that if you couldn't achieve it, it would hurt you. I would cry. And that's what it's all about, is finding that and what you're going to do with it. So the second thing here that I want to talk about is accountability. I've spoken on this before, but I'm going to talk about the importance of this, you guys, because like I said before, it is so easy to put on yourselves. It is so easy to let ourselves off the hook. Oh, you know what? It was a tough day on my other job. I'm just going to sit here and chill for a little bit, take the night off. I need some me time. You guys, I'm sorry, I laugh at that because any mother knows there's such thing as me time. You just don't have it. So, but people say that all the time to me. I'm like, me time? What is that a thing? I guess it is, but the me time should be developing yourself better, making yourself stronger, working towards a path and a goal. That's your me time, right? My me time is helping others and moving forward. That's what fills me with purpose and joy. So it's so easy to let ourselves off the hook. So when you bring somebody in to be your accountability partner, when you have an accountability partner, they are someone that you need to have some certain talents. I'm going to talk to you about that because you want to make sure it's not just anybody. And as a matter of fact, I do not recommend sharing your goals and dreams with everybody. Okay, keep it under wraps. It's special to you, right? It talks about this in the Bible. Don't cast your pearls before swine. It's the same thing. You keep that to yourself. That's for you. Because what I'm not saying it has to be in secret. I'm just saying keep it close. Because you don't want people that unsolicited advice. So many people will give you opinions that aren't even relevant. You guys have read Rory's book. He talks about you can't be a king in your own backyard because you cannot. People are going to tell you, and they mean it with good intent, but they've never walked this path. So if you're going to take advice from somebody, take advice from somebody who's walked this path, who actually knows what they're talking about. And like I said, your family will mean well, but they do not understand what they don't know. And they do not know this. So I just, what I'm saying, keep it close. So when you're looking for a mentor, because this is your accountability partner, you want to look for someone that's been a mentor in the past, maybe a coach, maybe a teacher, someone who's helped you there. Maybe a small group, if you have a church small group or you have a work small group or someone that you go in I had as an adult mother, my time for myself was I had a dance class I would go to, and I had a group there. That was a couple of ladies in there were mentors to me. Just something like that, or just someone that you trust. Someone that you trust, and they have to be able to tell you, you guys, here's the qualities that they need, okay? They have to be able to call you out when you make excuses, all right? They have to be able to celebrate your wins, and they have to push you to keep going when it gets tough. And they will refuse to let you off the hook. They need to be a cheerleader for you, a sounding board for you, but a consistent, disciplined mentor that will push you forward. This is what you wanted. This is what you said you wanted it. Do you not want that anymore? Okay, then you need to keep going. Because like I said, you guys, we give up on ourselves so easily, but when our feet are placed in a path and we have encouragement along the way, it really does help. Because let me tell you guys, my friends, when you start something new and you're changing, it is an uphill battle. It's change, it's different. And if you do not have somebody on your team, somebody on your side to push you forward, it's even harder. It's doable because I did it, but it is harder. It's harder to do. So the third key step here is to take consistent, intentional action. So I know that sounds easy, but it's far from it. It's consistent, intentional action, guys. Consistency is not just a feeling, right? It's a mindset. It's a tangible and measurable set of behaviors and habits that you need to cultivate over time. So it's going to take time. It's not just going to happen like this. This is a measurable set of behaviors, habits that you are starting to develop in yourself. Because you guys know, most people here have never worked for themselves. Most people do not know what it takes. When you get home and you're tired and you feed your family and they're all relaxing and watching the telly and you are working your butt off. You're moving forward into your path because you want change. You want whatever that why is. You want that so bad that you're pushing forward, because you set yourself up on a path for a month and you follow consistent action and showing up. 1 month becomes 2 and 3. Within a year, not only will your business be changed, but you will be changed. The person that's inside will be changed, and you will see amazing rewards, and you will start to look at yourself in the mirror and like who looks back at you. And that is amazing, my friends. So it's not simply taking action, because action isn't enough, but you need to have a solid system. Anyone knows me knows I love a solid system. I love a system, which is one of the reasons why I like the training that Rory has done here. He's laid out it's a system. He always says it's not a suggestion, it's a system. Boy, that makes I just love it. Because if you follow, he says it too. You guys, he still does BRTs. He still does session 1s and 2s, just like everybody else here. He's walking the walk and talking the talk. I listen to him do him. He says, if you do what I do, you get what I get, right? If you do what I do, you get what I get. So he has measured his steps so that he can make himself duplicatable, so you guys can all follow him. So we have a system. So becoming consistent and showing up for yourself, you need to develop a system for yourself. And I've spoken on this many times, but I always get excited to talk about this, because if anybody's been here for a while and heard Niall introduce me, he says, I plan every day. I plan every year. I plan 20 years down the road. And he's not kidding. I do, but I love it. And that is the first, number 1 is to set a daily routine. Set a daily routine of habits. And here, my friends, is a secret. If you are trying to do a new habit, stack it onto an old habit until it becomes its own. So I talk a lot about time blocking to accomplish things, because that's how I did it. And that's another topic for another day. But when you're developing a new habit, you stack it onto another habit. I'm going to give you guys some examples here so you understand what I'm talking about, right? How many of you guys here have a cup of coffee in the morning? Anybody? I sure do. I love myself a cup of coffee, right? I stacked it on to have my plus with that cup of coffee. So that became my habit, right? So now I have my plus. If you don't know, for those of you who are new, that's one of our Anchor offers. And it's a weight loss product that we have with coffee. And it was something new for me. And I like the taste of black coffee. So I have it just by itself. So it was hard for me to get into the habit of taking that. So I stuck it by my coffee and then I stacked it on. So as I had my morning coffee, I had my plus, right? And then I'm a big time journaler. I journal everything. I find that it's so refreshing to go back and review my thoughts and processes. And I don't just throw up on pages, right? Which is nothing's wrong with that. That's what that does works for you. But I write down my wins. Maybe only write down my fails if it's something I feel like I can benefit from. I don't use that as to nitpick myself. But I'll write down, hey, I tried this, it didn't work. I need to tweak this maybe next time. Because I don't believe in putting yourself down because you showed up for yourself. And even if it didn't work the way you wanted it to work, it's okay. You learn in the failures. So I'm a big time journaler. So when I decided I was a young mom, had no time, I wanted to read the Bible in a year. And this was back in the day before they had all these written things everywhere that they have all these, outlines for you. I mean, they probably did have it then, but I don't remember having it. I decided to add that into my journal time. So I stacked that habit onto it. So I added my Bible time onto my journaling time so that I could make sure I achieved my goal for that year that I wanted. So you're just stacking things onto each other so to make it more achievable, right? So when I first started to do any kind of marketing or anything here, that was new for me. That was something new. And I knew if it was something new, most people make every excuse in the book why they can't do it, right? They do. Somebody new, they don't want to do it. It's uncomfortable to them and it's hard. So I took the excuse out of it and I would leave I don't always do this, but I did when I first started. I would everything set up and ready for myself in the morning. So when I got up in the morning and I sat down to work, I stacked that first thing in the morning. Normally I'd be going through my emails, setting my schedule. But what I found is that as I was doing those, if I did those first, and then I would go into my schedule and my things for the day, that would help me because I knew it was my schedule time and I knew I wanted to do that to focus for the day. And so that's when I started to do it. So I stacked that in until it became its own habit, right? I stacked that in. The same thing with pages, doing the pages. I knew on Sunday day actually is my only day off that my husband and I take off because we do it for God and for family. And that was a time where I like to write and do different things that day. So I just stacked that in. I'm going to write a page that day. I just stacked it into my normal writing time that I would normally write on. And guess the great thing about PBS Pages is it's just you telling the story. So it's just you telling the story. So it works right in with it. So you start to stack yourselves, right? And that is how you start to develop fresh habits. That's how you can help yourself. So when life gets chaotic, you already have a habit established and you're adding on to it. And it helps you to be consistent and to show up for yourself. So I always say, if you don't have a clear plan in place, you cannot succeed because life gets messy. Life throws amazing things at you, things that you think, okay, I have this all. I mean, I'm a planner, so I know. You have this whole thing mapped out and planned out, and then all of a sudden this happens. Maybe there was a hurricane that threw you off base. Maybe your son's car broke down and he's driving to Florida, and you've got to fix it real quick, moving the family. Maybe you gotta do that. You never know. Things are going to happen, but this makes it manageable. The plan makes it manageable because even if you have to go off path for a moment, it can pull you back. So I also recommend just setting aside each time every day, specifically in the morning, to do that hard thing first, right? Do that hard thing first. Whatever you guys are I got muted a little there. Whatever you're worried about or whatever you're fearful about, do that first, whatever that be, whatever that is. Do it first, my friends. And then it's out of the way. And guess what? It becomes less and less hard and it becomes enjoyable. You can ask Dina Eddy. She does our V marketing every Saturday to show people how to do it. And it was uncomfortable for her until now it's easy and she enjoys it and she's fun to listen to. It's the same thing with Melissa. She does some marketing on Monday nights and she shares that. And it was hard for her, but guess what? She does an amazing job and people really enjoy listening to her and really enjoy watching her. So, those are two ladies that are fantastic at it. And you guys, we have a plethora of amazing people to help teach you, to make you guys better, and who are just like you. So Anyway, a detailed step-by-step plan can help you accomplish your goals. And then by having that detailed a plan, did I talk about this? I think I did, right? Yes, I did. Having a plan, starting a plan. Sorry, I'm getting way ahead of myself and I'm going way too long. Rory, I never go long. This is something I'm very passionate about. In case you guys don't know, I never go long, but it's going to happen today. I'm sorry. I'll hurry and put this all in. But you guys, once you set that time aside for that task, guard it ferociously. That's your time to achieve that new habit, that new talent. Do not let anything interfere with it. Even your little honey, when he comes to whisper sweet nothings into your ear, you're like, no, karate, chop that stuff out. Go away. I got my time set right here. You got to go away. I got goals to achieve, honey. And you just have to make sure that that's you're on that path and you're working forward. So once you have your action plan set out, that's when I always recommend breaking it down into smaller actionable steps. It talks about eating that elephant one step at a time. How do you eat an elephant one step at a time, right? You're just breaking it down until it becomes easier and easier and easier. And then I also recommend building in accountability check-ins at this point with whoever, you guys. It needs to be somebody who's not judging. So I want to say here to this group, if anyone asks you to be an accountability partner, you're not to judge. You just hold them accountable. Don't let them give excuses. Oh, I was sick or I was that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're sick or not. It matters if you show up, right? I was told once, if it doesn't matter if you're sick, you still have to do something, even if it's something small. You still show up and you still do it because you're developing these habits. You're pushing forward. So because I've been sick as a dog with a fever and I still showed up to work because that's what was required of me to develop that habit. And I knew I needed it. And it made a change in me. It made me realize the importance of keeping my commitments even to myself. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna push forward because I'm only have like 4 more minutes. Niall, I never go over time. Anyway, how do you start? How do you start doing this? You're gonna start small. I always say start small, right? You're starting here with the triple R. I'm gonna relate everything to triple R really quickly. You're gonna finish your pages. So work on a couple pages, right? But that doesn't mean that you stop doing that when you can do actionable items that can help push you forward to success. So if you want to become an instructor and you need to use that outbound call time as that is your ferocious guarded time. Okay, if that's your time that you don't do anything else but your outbound calls or your inbound calls or wherever you're working, but that's when you do your remarketing. That's when you focus on reaching others because we help others here. That's what we do. We help them find a way out when they're in the dark. So start small and just start doing your 2 hours a day of consistent marketing. And if you're here, I recommend 2 hours as the minimum. But if you're here and you have a full-time job, then just start with what much as you can handle in a day, but set that goal for yourself. And you, like I said, guard it ferociously. So whatever that is. And then the next thing would be make it easy. So eliminate as many barriers as you can. Like I said, I would set up my computer ready for me in the morning. So I couldn't say I needed to do this or I needed to do that. It was there. It was glaring me at the face when my screen woke up and I was like, oh boy, it's there for me. I'm going. And that's the same thing. Like I know you guys have all heard that excuse when you want to start working out, you lay your workout clothes out, right? So they're there for you. It's the same kind of thought with work. Lay out what you need for the next day so it's ready for you to get going. And then the last, like I already talked about, was stacking your habits. Just continue to help push yourself forward until you're able to focus and give it full attention. So whatever you guys are, when you're trying to develop something new, you're trying to fix something and move forward, to stack it with something else, whatever it is. Maybe you need the call time if you've been here for a while and you need this time to help you work on a certain thing while you're listening. Okay, do it. I don't recommend that for everybody because I think you need to focus. But if it's something new you're trying to develop, but do what you need to do to be successful. Because you guys, the truth of the matter is, it's a hard life, you guys, with lots of things thrown in it. There's times where you're going to want to give up. There's times where you feel overwhelmed. There's times when you're going to want to quit. You're going to have setbacks. How many times have we had some issues with the PBSs where there's been a virus and you've had to redo your pages? That's what we teach backing up. But there's going to be times when you're going to get frustrated. You're going to want to give up. And it's okay because that is life. And anything worth achieving, anything worth pushing for, it requires effort. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. It pushes you to confront your fears. It pushes you to change, to become a different person. Because I don't believe we achieve anything when we're comfortable. We only achieve greatness, whatever that looks like to you guys, and that's different for everybody. But we only achieve greatness when we push out of our comfort zone. So I'm going to give you guys a couple challenges, you guys. For those of you guys who are full-time here, I recommend to set a goal of 4 hours a day of remarketing. 4 hours. That gets you in the mindset, that gets you going, that gets you consistent. And the only reason I suggest not doing that is if you already have it filled with session 1s and session 2s. If it's already filled and you don't have the time for it, then you don't have the time for 4 hours. Otherwise, first 90 days, you guys, you're working your pipeline, and you guess what? You're going to start and you're going to suck. Rory calls it, you start with suck and you get less sucky until you become good, better, and great. And you're learning new habits, new skills. So it's going to take more time. It's going to take that time to develop them and fill your pipeline. Don't get discouraged when you have a week of nothing, because you're getting going again. You have to get that momentum back. You guys, no lie, Rory's phone will ring and he'll pick it up, and it's somebody that he marketed to 2 years ago. They're calling him back now. 2 years ago. Do you see what I'm saying? The success happens because you're creating a downward spiral of all this action. You're pushing yourself up this hill, and then you've got all this momentum that is just carrying you, is selling you back down, it's selling you through success. So don't give up. Be consistent for 90 days and see at the end of those 90 days what happens for you. If this is part-time for you and you're just getting started here, I recommend 2 hours a day. If you can't do 2 hours, then do what you can. That is the important step, because it's the action item that's going to get you money, right? You can do all the little things, but it's not going to get you money. Now, if you're just here to do post ads and do that, then that's the next thing. Then you need to post your ads. A minimum of 2 hours a week. That's a minimum. If you want to see a return, you need to build that up until it becomes more and more. And it's the same thing. You're creating momentum and you're getting going. Once you get going, it starts to fall in for you. But you need to be consistently putting forth effort. And we always say it's 50-50 page creation and posting ads. So if you're here you're just getting started and you're just wanting to post ads and get going that way, then that's what you need to focus on. That needs to be your main thing. So I'm just going to give you guys those few things that I wanted to share. But you guys don't be afraid when the going gets tough. It's going to get tough. Don't put on yourself. And I've said this in the previous night. It seems people hit 3 obstacles and then quit on themselves. So I always tell everybody, keep track of those obstacles. 1, 2, 3, boom, I'm still going. Because your why doesn't change, right? And quitting doesn't make you succeed. It just makes you a quitter. And you're only quitting on yourself, and you're only quitting on your why. So get straight with your why, you guys. That's so powerful. Get straight with what you want, your goals, make an action plan. Be consistent until consistency is easy for you. This is a change. This is something different. And Rory, if you're here still, I just wanted you to pop in and say hello so people can see your face. I haven't seen your face for a minute, but he is the most consistent person I have ever met. And I have been blessed to be married to this person for over 20 years. We've been together over 20 years. But yeah, it's just been amazing to watch him. When he's sick as a dog, gets up and works. When we have a family emergency, he's working as much as he can up until that, whatever it is. I mean, I've just never seen somebody put forth the effort that man does. I mean, he's up working in Australia when everyone else is sleeping, because to make sure that there's more leads and more income revenue, you guys, because if all of our leads were just the US, it would be very difficult. But we know the secret to success is many different things. And so that's why we have different anchor offers, different pages that we have you write, because that's the secret. But he is the king of consistency, truthfully. Like I said, he is second to, I don't even think you're second. I was gonna say second to my father, but no, I think he even becomes first place to my father. And he's continually working on a path, and it's to better you guys. And you guys are never gonna find this anywhere else. But that's what he's doing. He's bettering the company. He's bettering the processes for you to make you guys have a better income, a better situation, a better environment here. It's been truly an honor and a blessing to be able to see him work and drive this. So Rory, I'd like you just to say something quick. Sorry, I went over.
Well,
this is a really good prelude for our next section, which is the millionaire course. And we're going to kick to that in 5 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. We'll go right to it. But you guys, by the way, Tanya, I love what you're doing and how you stepped up to run all this part, because it's good to get that perspective and share it. But you guys, it's about the consistency. Even if you're only doing 2 hours a week, do it every week. Don't trade it out. But I'm going to tell you, the more you put into this, the more you're going to get out of it. And we got it all measurable, and we've streamlined everything so that people can get in and get going. But we know that your environment depicts what you're going to get out of life. And a lot of people just don't know how to have a better environment. And that's a responsibility we've taken on to teach everybody. We're not here to be your best friends. We're here to teach you how to freaking achieve what you came to achieve. When people enter the door here, they come for a better environment and a way to learn how to make money. Let's just face it. If you don't have money, that's the energy you need to have a better life. It takes resources, folks. Everything costs money. It costs money to freaking live. I mean, I could go into water, right? In most places do not have decent water. They put too much stuff in there or whatever it's in there. It costs money to drink good water. Nothing is pretty much free anymore. Even the air, I wonder about, right? Like, you got to have good money to live away from the city and the pollution. It's amazing. But yet the environment we create is evolving around areas where we can make money, right? If we provide a service, we provide a marketing service, we connect a product and service with a consumer, and then we make money on every sale and transaction. We just got to be part of the process. And the more people we add and share this with, the more we get the leverage. Everything's been built around that so that we can help the world. But you've got to find it. You've got to, establish what is your why are you doing this, and then consistently make it happen. And sacrifice anything that's not money making or family building. Like, you shouldn't sacrifice family time, but you can definitely organize around it so you can have even more quality family time. There's always a way. And a lot of things you can get rid of, you don't need in your life. Like television, movies, you don't need them. They don't put money in your pocket. No. I do just fine without watching any television. It's been years. I just don't. I'm going to tell you, I have goals that I want to hit on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And I drive myself for them. That's an environment that I wanted and created and was inspired to do for a long time. And it just becomes a habit. And I know that if I reward myself with some time off and some R&R time, sure. Don't want to burn out, but I also want to achieve things. And I gamify it for myself. Like, okay, I'm gonna do 20 more. Count down 20 more. I push myself because I know that I can achieve more by doing more. And you know what? It's a lot nicer when you got excess cash. Life is just less stressful. Things are just easier. When you have a small problem and don't have the funds to meet that, that's just it's not a good feeling. And a lot of people have that all the time, where they just shirk things off, they give up things. You shouldn't have to, because we live in a day and age where creating energy or revenue is easier than it's ever been before, if you know what to do. We deal in the direct-to-consumer world, guys, we get a deal in weight loss in a world that's fatter than it's ever been, fatter still by the day. We have an amazing solution that people want and need to hear about. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. We find the right type of products to market. We just got to go push it out there. But you guys, we know how to market, and that's what we're teaching you. We're teaching you how to present properly, how to do the BRT process. That'll make you a better human being, because it's all about communication with others anyway. And I'm just going to say, you guys showing up here is consistent. That's awesome. We do this for you guys. We do this every week so you guys have a pattern to get better and have things shared with you that you may not know or may have forgotten. So appreciate you being here. 2 minutes. See you guys in the millionaire course. And watching Tanny go over a little bit makes me happy. She this is like I wrote it down in my calendar. Like I don't know when the last time she did this was. Like you guys, even our family meetings went to the freaking time slot. I like your passion, babe. This is awesome. All right, see you guys in Millionaire Course, 2 minutes.